Hey YouTube, B3 back, another kicking comic book collection update. Yeah, we got some great stuff today. First up, we have another issue of Rick and Morty. This one's kind of a Christmas special here. It's Rick and Morty issue 8. Just kind of basic, creepy, funny Rick and Morty stuff, up to their antics. Very, very fun issue. And then I did get all of Spider Island from Secret Wars. Really cool story. Mostly focuses on Agent Venom, who I really like as a character, so that's great. So you got kind of the Spider-Man MJ here. Kind of the image of MJ is more from the first Spider Island story. You guys know which one. It's really cool. And Spider Island's one of the places in Battle World, Secret Wars, and etc. that Doom is god of. Spider-Queen rules it, obviously, and Flash Thompson's part of the Resistance, one of the few that's kind of like immune to the spider thing because the symbiote protects him. And then like Vision and Spider-Woman are on his side as well. So that's pretty cool. But it's a very neat story. As you can see, I have issue 2 here as well. And all the Avengers were turned into kind of like spider slaves for the Queen. But he did free mini characters, as you can see, by injecting them with other things. So you have the Godstone on Captain America, which turned him into a werewolf again. And then he used the Goblin formula on Tony Stark, so he's the Iron Goblin. Hulk got the lizard treatment. And then this dinosaur villain that I wasn't really familiar with. But it was just a very cool story, and there are going to be spoilers in this video. So if you guys really do care about that, just be careful, tread lightly. And eventually they do find Spider-Man. They thought he was dead, but they find him eventually. And then he helps fight the Spider-Queen right there. So they do battle, obviously. There's big ol' Spider-Queen. And eventually what happens in the end is Flash Thompson there has to give up the Venom symbiote to defeat the Queen. Venom symbiote kind of like runs her off a cliff, and then a bunch of dinosaurs eat her, which is pretty awesome. And then all the spider people are freed from her control, but then after that, everyone kind of, Flash Thompson dies. His injuries are just too severe, and without the Venom symbiote, he can't live. And then, they kind of put Manhattan back together and name it Thompsonville after Flash Thompson. Spider-Man becomes the leader of it. One of the Thors comes from the Thor Corps, helps them pick stuff out, and everyone kind of gets a choice of what they want to be. They can stay a spider if they want, or they can be a vampire because they made Captain Marvel a vampire. They can be a vampire, they can stay a spider person, they can be a dino person, lizard person. They can just kind of be whatever they want, even werewolf. So yeah, it worked out pretty well. There are even some bird people that you could be. But yeah, it was a really cool story. I really enjoyed it. And then there's a Spider-Girl story in the back, which is actually a Spider-Woman story. It's about what happens to her pretty much after Spider-Verse. Don't really like all the other characters in the Spider-Girl world except her Daredevil. But yeah, it's just kind of what's up with her. She's going by Spider-Woman now and stuff. Just kind of some closure for her, So that was that. And then here I have the rest of the Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, which was also a really cool story. It's a world where I think the bad guy's name was Regent, stealing people's powers and stuff, and he was in this. And then he's also in one of the newer Amazing Spider-Man issues for the all new, all different. Can't wait to see what happens with him in that. So he's going to be in the regular Marvel Universe now as well, instead of just being a Secret Wars villain. But he pretty much killed all the Avengers and stuff. Spider-Man slipped away, and he's wearing the black suit, the cloth one, not the symbiote one, because he killed Venom in issue 1 and stuff, you'll remember. And he actually kills Doc Ock, I think, and maybe even Hobgoblin. He's not really holding back. He's killing to protect his family, and it's actually really, really good, because his daughter gets, she has spider powers also, and she gets a little costume and kind of helps him fight the Sinister Six and Regent and everything. MJ even gets like a power suit, which is really, really cool. And then they just kind of topple him. And it turns out he was collecting all those powers and stuff because what he did was steal everyone's powers. And he was doing that so that he could face Doom and replace Doom as god of Battleworld. So that's pretty crazy. And then The Amazing Spider-Man #1. I really loved this. I actually really like the direction they're taking with Spider-Man. Lots of people are like, no, that's not the Spider-Man I know and love. But Miles Morales is going to act like that. And you can read Spidey, which is him when he was younger, and still just like the Spider-Man of your youth. You guys, if a comic changes, you don't have to read it. Why are people get mad like they're forcing you to read something you don't want to read? But there's so many Spider-Man titles out there. There's one for everyone. But this is a really good book. And this oversized issue had stories for really all the major Spider characters. See, that was Regent stuff you just saw. There's a little Miles Morales bit. And there's a bit from Web Warriors, which I'm not going to read. I just can't afford it. Some Spider-Woman, some Silk action. You know, just lots of great stuff, even some $20.99 in here. But his new tech stuff is cool. I like the look of his new outfit. It's not so different that it's like, ugh, but it's also different enough where you can be like, hey, you know, this is a nice little change. I like kind of the green symbol and stuff. And I'm really excited for them to eventually make a Marvel Legend for this. I cannot wait. It'll happen because it's Spider-Man and he always gets Legends, but it's a big, oversized book. Very cool. Then I also got issue 2, and what he's doing is kind of like fighting this Zodiac terrorist group all over the world, and he kind of works with Prowler a lot now, as you can see, and he kind of teams up with S.H.I.E.L.D. and Parker Industries supplies a lot of stuff for S.H.I.E.L.D. and etc. And he did take over the Baxter building, because Fantastic Four disappeared because Marvel wants the rights back. That's really why. But, you know, Human Torch is kind of pissed about it. They have a fight, but then it turns out there's like a Fantastic Four statue and stuff in the lobby honoring them and everything. So that's pretty cool. And this is really neat. It looks like Human Torch is part of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now. And we got some more Amazing Spider-Man here. We got some like goblin mercenaries. We finally figure out what happened to Norman Osborn after the end of Superior, which is pretty cool. So he's in another country, pretty much just manipulating its people into buying weapons from him, which is pretty awful. Destroying Parker Industries charity stuff. And then, you know, he had to fight in London. I think it's cool how he's fighting all over the world now, fighting the Scorpio Zodiac people, as you can see. And there's kind of a cool little reveal at the end of that one. And then we got a .1. Of course, it wouldn't be a Spider-Man comic without them milking every dime out of us they could with .1s. Sometimes .1s are pretty good, but then sometimes .1s are like, ugh. This is one of the ones that I'm not crazy about. Amazing Grace Part 1. Nah, I wasn't crazy about this issue. Something about it just seems odd. The art's a little different than the rest of the title, which I don't mind, but just a guy comes back from the dead, and it was kind of boring, honestly. But whatever. And then we got some previews for Marvel. Got Squadron Supreme. I almost said Syndrome, I don't know why. But lots of previews. I didn't read all the previews, just some of the ones I was more interested in, like Spider-Man Deadpool, which I don't think I'll be able to afford to read either, but whatever. I did read all these Star Wars previews, though. They were free and stuff. These Darth Vader comics look really cool. All these Star Wars comics look really cool, actually. So that's very nice. And then I got these Spider-Man 2099 comics. Here's #1, where he doesn't actually appear as Spider-Man in this, but there's an accident, and his girlfriend, spoiler alert, dies. You know, it's a comic book. No one's really dead. But he gets this cool new suit that Peter Parker souped up for him. He's this robotics dude he fights, trying to get revenge, and he's this close to being an anti-hero and killing people. He's coming very close. He quit being Spider-Man because he didn't recognize himself anymore. So, yeah, but he's like figuring out what's going on. Turns out there's like a terrorist organization, maybe a terrorist organization, called Hand that's doing stuff. I don't know if it's actually a terrorist organization or what. Still have to figure it out. I don't know. But, you know, this is Spider-Man. And then issue 4, and that's the Captain America of 2099. And she's somehow in the present. It's weird. It seems a little forced, almost, that she's in the present. But she opens a portal to 2099 that Spider-Man was keeping in the basement and kind of lets this dude in. Apparently he's someone that Spider-Man knows who's been rewritten because history's been rewritten. But I don't know who it is, honestly. But yeah, that's what I got for this update. I know it's mostly Spider-Man stuff. That's just how, I chose to read them. So that's how I chose to show them to you. But yeah, quick recap. Spider-Man 2099 number 4, Spider-Man 2099 number 3, Spider-Man 2099 number 2, which the comic shop ordered for me because they didn't get me one originally, and it got here in like a week, which was very fast. Spider-Man 2099 number 1, Star Wars previews, Marvel previews, The Amazing Spider-Man 1.1, The Amazing Spider-Man 5, The Amazing Spider-Man 4, The Amazing Spider-Man 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and The Amazing Spider-Man number 1, oversized and action-packed. Also got The Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 5, The Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 4, and The Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 3, as well as Spider Island 5, Spider Island 4, Spider Island 3, Spider Island 2, Spider Island 1, and also Rick and Morty number 8. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Thank you all once again for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, other channels, other comic book collection updates. And we got more coming your way next time. It'll be more than just a bunch of Marvel and one Oni Press. I'll try to get some DC IDW in next time. And that is it. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you all later.